For the continuation of principle of journalism applicable to news, let me discuss the number 4, 5, and 6. Number 4, I shall refrain from writing reports which will adversely affect a private reputation unless the public interest justifies it. At the same time, I shall write vigorously for public access to information as provided for in the Constitution. In this passage, journalists are difficult in balancing act. They must respect privacy, but they must also be rigorous and robust in their investigations into issues that are in the public interest. This will mean that in some cases, it will be necessary for a journalist to carry out an investigation that interferes with someone's privacy. Such as cases include crime and antisocial behavior, corruption and injustice, and last, incompetence or neglect. In conclusion, in number 4, the most important rule is that we must treat people fair and with respect. We must be clear about our own motives. We must have no personal interest in an investigation that invades a person's privacy. The only justification is that it is in the public interest, and we are genuinely trying to expose wrongdoing. Number 5, I shall not let personal motives or interest influence me in the performance of my duties, nor shall I accept or offer any present, gift, or other consideration of a nature which may cast doubt on my professional integrity. Giving or receiving of gift by journalists can be fraught with complications, both journalistic and cultural. Some journalists see little trouble with it. They believe they can receive a gift and still cover a story honestly. They also note that in some countries, gift giving is a routine practice, and some journalists depend on this gift for their livelihood. However, consider getting and giving gift anathema to the profession. They argue that even if a reporter's coverage is unbiased, the fact that he received a gift takes away from his credibility. These considerations don't apply only to impartial news organizations. Even for the point of view journalist, giving and receiving gifts can be viewed as a violation of professionalism. And last, for our number 6, I shall not commit any act of plagiarism. So, why plagiarism is avoided or restricted in the journalism? It's simply because plagiarism and journalism is much the same in anywhere else. There are essentially 3 types of plagiarism that occurs in journalism. First is plagiarism of information. It is a using of information another reporter has gathered without crediting them or their publication. Second is plagiarism of writing. It is when a reporter directly copies the segments of another reporter's story and uses it in their own article. Last is plagiarism of ideas. It is when a reporter has idea or theory about a news issues and another reporter advances the theory as their own. So, paraphrasing a quote is the best idea to avoid plagiarism of ideas. Here are some consequences in plagiarism in journalism. It is being suspended for plagiarism would be considered as a minor punishment. It is far more likely that plagiarizing journalists would be fined. There is also the possibility that the legal action might be taken which could result in having to pay monetary compensation or could even end in imprisonment. So, while it is so much easier to plagiarize now than ever before, it is also easier to catch plagiarized. The best way for journalists to avoid plagiarism and its consequences are using checking plagiarism tools to write their own stories and attribute sources where they obtain. So that is for my part. Thank you for listening.